Hello, I'm now joined by Gilbert Smith. Gilbert's coming off of a win over the weekend at MFC 39 against Jason South in a very tough three-round fight, all action, fair to say war. My personal fight of the night, it was a great card, but that was my favourite performance or my favourite fight of MFC 39. Gilbert, thank you very much for joining me.
Yeah, for sure. It's great to be on the show.
Now, it was a really, really tough fight. I mean, you landed some big blows. Jason South landed a lot from the bottom. I mean, you were on top a lot. How did you feel the fight went?
Uh, um, I thought the fight went well for me. I think I was able to do almost everything I wanted to do, but get the finish. I think Jason South was a really tough guy, and he showed a lot of heart and obviously a lot of skills. But to me, the fight was entertaining and it was fun.
Well, you said there about getting the finish, and to be honest with you, I don't know how you didn't get the finish. I think if it was for a lesser opponent, I think you would have got the finish. I mean, Jason South showed a lot of heart in that fight. Were you surprised you weren't
Yeah,
able to put him away?
yeah. I mean, I counted it, bro. I went for almost 8 to 9 submission attempts. I almost knocked him out. Every minute of that fight, I was going for something to try to finish him. And Jason South was just very savvy on the ground. He knew how to protect himself in those submission attempts, and even with the knockdown, he was able to recover and get back into his grappling mode. So he was a tough guy.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly is. You can't take anything away from him. He is a tough guy. I mean, I've seen his
Yeah.
fights before. He never stops going, even when he's under pressure. Now, he threw a lot of elbows from his back as well. What impact were they having on you?
So the elbows really didn't do nothing. The elbows was annoying more than anything. They didn't. I mean, my face don't have one mark. When I'm not sore or nothing. It looked a lot worse than what it was. It was him being active, which is good for him. But as far as like damage on me, it didn't do anything.
Now, the other thing I've got to ask you, towards the end of one of the rounds, he had you in a choke, and it looked like it was on for nearly a minute. How tight was the
Yeah,
choke?
it was tight. I mean, uh, I couldn't get out. It was tight. It was really taken away from my breathing. I actually told myself, mentally speaking, I was saying, I'm either going to go to sleep or I'm going to get out, but I'm not going to tap. So, luckily for me, I was able to get out, but yeah, I wasn't going to tap, but it was super tight, man. He had it on.
How come you didn't go out? I mean, you were in there. It was tight. Well, it looked tight to me anyway, watching. And you were in there for well over a minute. How? And I understand why you didn't tap. It's obviously your mentality. What stopped you from going out?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a really hard guy to tap out, to particularly choke out. And I know basic techniques, to defend against that. And he actually defended against my defense, which is pretty good for him. But basically, I just have to tell myself to relax and breathe, get some oxygen in. If I get too tense and if I freak out, then I probably will pass out a lot quicker. But I was able to relax and think my way through it, and also it was just that will to not give up, and knowing that this was the third round, this was like the last minute or so of the third round, and I knew his arms could not hold out for too much longer. So I was like, I'm gonna have to grind this one out and be tough.
Was you relieved then when he released the grip? Was you'd obviously waited it out? Were you glad you were obviously relieved when that grip was finally released?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, I know, there you go. I'm out, and fight is almost over. I'm good. So it really worked out. The thing about this fight that people don't understand is that, you know, I, I came into this fight with an injury, with actually a pretty bad injury. I actually tore my MCL a week ago, and like I wanted, I personally wanted to fight, and my coaches were really close to pulling me, because I couldn't move as much as I wanted to laterally. Uh, but but with the help of my physical therapist, Jeremy Snyder in Colorado Springs, I was able to strengthen up the leg and fight through it. It was really funny because right before I walked out, I had both my knees taped up really good. And the reason why I had my right knee taped up, which is good, because if my left knee was taped up, I was afraid that he would attack. So I taped up both knees. And what happened was the tape started to move, and it was kind of annoying. So just 2 seconds before I walked out, I told my coach, cut the tape off, cut it. So they found scissors and they cut it, and then I walked out.
I've got to ask you as well. I mean, like I said to you I messaged you on Facebook about the fight. I really did enjoy the fight. It was so much back and forth, and you were both constantly looking for stuff all the time. Even when, you were on top, you were always looking for a finish. Even when Jason was on the bottom, he was always active, like you said. What's been the reaction like then from the media, from the promotion, or from the fans of the fight for the fight?
Everybody basically said that it was fight of the night. To be honest with you, I'm a little bit, what's the best word I could use? I'm a little bit bummed out, that I'm not too sure if the MFC really appreciated the fight, because going into the fight, Mark Pavelich told me if I finished this fight, I would get a title shot. That was the deal. And I understand the deal is a deal. I didn't finish the fight. So when, I asked for a title shot, he wrote that I have to have a stronger win and better performance. Now, granted, I didn't finish the fight, but how do you get a stronger performance or a stronger win? I mean, the guy that I beat was 10-1, and all of his 10 wins were finishes. And the only guy he'd lost to was somebody that had close to 30 fights, and it was a 5-round war. I did more damage to Jason South than Sam did in 5 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure if you could get a better performance or a stronger win against a quality opponent. So I mean, if you factor everything in, if you factor in the whole picture, that was my first cut to 170, first time in Canada, first time in the ring. My training partner, one of my coach's friends, fought right before me, so my coach wasn't even there to really get me warmed up. If you factor in everything that happened that night, and for me to fight such a tough dude with a great record and a great performance, I think I deserve a title shot. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Obviously, I didn't know that had been said until we've just talked now, so I'm a bit surprised. I mean, you didn't finish Jason South, but Jason South has proved to be very durable, and the only time he has been finished, or his only time he's lost before the fight with you, of course, was in the 5th round against Sam Alvey, and we all know how tough Sam Alvey is, and that, of course, was at middleweight as well, where this fight was at welterweight. So what happens now then? Are you gonna fight again at MFC? I mean, how are you feeling about fighting again for MFC after that kind of reaction from the fight?
Well, if Mark feels that I need to prove myself a little bit more, then that's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go do my job. He tells me who to fight, when to fight, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to fight, and I'm going to show him that I deserve to be the welterweight champion of the MFC. It's okay. I mean, do I agree with his assessment? Not really, but I guess to me, it was what he did is pose a challenge, and that's fun. That's fun, man. I love a challenge. So now I have to go out there and show him a little bit more and prove to him that, I'm the one. He signed me for a reason, and I want to prove to him that he made a good decision by signing me.
Yeah, it's fair to say as well, Mark's quite a character, and he's very outspoken. He's not afraid to kind of chuck his 2 pence in, as they say. So, I mean, ideally then, when would you like to get back in and compete again? I mean, is there any injuries from the fight? I mean, it was quite a grueling fight. You said about your injury before going into the fight. I mean, how long is that going to take to heal up?
Well, talking to my doctor, it would be 4 to 6 weeks. I actually, it's funny because I actually just worked out. I literally just came from the gym. So I still feel strong. I'm a little bit heavy now. I'm like 208 pounds, so I gained like 38 pounds. But, I think we're talking about May 9th to get me back in there. So that'd be an awesome amount of time to heal up and to get a good training camp in.
So does that obviously May then? Does that fits in with you? You should be back in shape then. Obviously, I mean, with having a fight, of course, your weight's going to go up and you're going to get it back down. But I suppose the biggest thing is your injury. Your injury will be healed up properly by then, and in time for you to train and prepare properly for MFC 40.
Yeah. My knee should be good in like 4 to 6 weeks, like about a month or so.
Oh, excellent! I mean, personally, after that fight, I mean, I want to see your next fight. I mean, I messaged you on Facebook before we even spoke, didn't I? And I'd said to you that was my personal fight of the night. I mean, I really enjoyed the fight from both fighters, from you and from Jason. I mean, for me, it was obvious that you won the fight, but Jason was never out of that fight. He was so tough, and he made you work for the win, which made it even more exciting for me to watch as a fan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you make sure to tell Mark that, spread the word, let people know that, sometimes I get it. Mark is a promoter. He doesn't want decisions. He doesn't want people laying down on top of each other and humping each other for 3 rounds. I get that. And trust me, I tried my best not to do that. When I took him down, got my position, then after I went to work. I was passing his guard, I took his back, I was trying to get mount, I went side mount, I was dropping bombs, I was trying to choke him out with anaconda, guillotine, took his back twice. I was trying to go for the finish. And then, on the feet, in the 3rd round, I lit him up. So hopefully Mark could go back, and maybe watch the fight again and realize that, man, that was a really good fight on both ends, on my end and on Jason's end. And, and hopefully he gives Jason another shot because I think he deserves it. Jason's a good fighter, and to me, it was an honor to fight a guy that was willing to go out there and just not lay down. There was times I had chokes in that he just won't quit. And obviously he had a choke on me that I just won't quit. So hopefully Mark can see that and give both of us, give me my title shot and give Jason another fight.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm not a promoter, but I would agree with that as well. It was such an exciting fight. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what he's got lined up for you now, because if he wants you to fight a tougher opponent, it's going to be hard to find many people that are as durable and tough as of course as what Jason was in that fight. So it's going to be interesting to see what he's got next for you. It's certainly going to MFC 40 in May is obviously going to be exciting. I really appreciate you coming on. It's been great having you on and having a chat with you. So thank you very much for giving me your time today, Gilbert.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And before we let you go, should we give you a chance to do any shout-outs? Want to shout out friends, family, sponsors, and also let the listeners know about your Facebook and your Twitter as well.
Okay, yeah. Well, I guess I'll start off with that. On my Facebook, you can check me out under Gilbert Jamal Smith, and on my Facebook, you can check me out at Jamal Smith MMA. I definitely want to shout out Team Victory in Colorado Springs, Factory X in Denver, Castle Rock Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and all my and Hustle Hard Boxing with Carlos Ribeiro, and all my sponsors from A Street Caninos, Power Care, Rocky Mountain Rehab, Synergy Supplements, for the best supplements in the market, and Caneo Fit. Those guys really helped me train up and get my weight down. Those guys are really good. Pete Krav Maga, great self-defense program. And everybody that supported me, and all my family, my friends, and all my training partners. I mean, this was a team effort, and thank God that everything worked out, and I was able to make everybody proud.
Well, it's been great having you on the show, so thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.